In this video, I want to talk about 2 things you need to up your video game for shooting outdoors. Let's get it. Hey, what's up? I'm Omar Eltakrori. I'm a full-time content creator, and this channel is all about helping you take better photos and video. So if you're interested in that, hit the subscribe button. This is actually my first video on the channel about video. And the reason why is because honestly, I found myself doing 50% video and 50% photo, which has actually also hindered my ability to be consistent in posting photo content on the channel. No excuses though. It's tough, man. It's tough getting in front of camera. Nobody's around me. Nobody's telling me what to do. But I'd like to share this with you today. Quick story, it was actually video that got me into photography. In high school, I took broadcast journalism. That was like 2007, and I just stuck with it all the way until I graduated in 2009. Next week's my 10-year high school reunion, which is crazy to think. But it's wild because I kind of just never put down the camera since high school, which I think is pretty cool. I mean, it's providing for my family now, and I think I've just learned a lot in the 10 plus years of doing video and photo. However, it wasn't until like about 2012 I started taking photography a little more seriously, starting to get wedding jobs, shooting photos. But video kind of just never left because I was always able to do it. People always needed it. And so, you know, it was something that was always able to make either a side hustle or even when I was a creative director at a church, just video kind of just never left my hands. And so I just wanted to talk about a couple of tools that'll help your videos go to the next level. The first thing is an ND filter. I think whether you vlog or you do, video work for small businesses or weddings or whatever it is, that whatever lens you use most for video, you need an ND filter for. And what an ND filter is, it's a neutral density filter. I mean, I don't even know essentially technologically, generally speaking, what that actually means. But essentially, it's sunglasses for your lens. I think the biggest reason why people kind of put money into cameras and lenses is because they want a specific look. They want that crispy subject in focus and they want that blurry background. And there's several ways you can get that. However, when shooting video, you actually don't want to deviate too far from this rule. And that's if this is for vloggers and videographers, it's the 180 shutter rule. And that is whatever your frame rate is, your shutter speed is double that. And so, for example, right now I'm shooting 30 frames per second and my shutter speed is boom, 1/60th of a second. Now, you can change your settings or shoot on auto and compromise that rule. The issue with that is when you increase your shutter speed because you're outside and that's the only way for you to maintain that blurry background, is that it introduces kind of like jittery motion blur. And so as the viewer, for someone who's watching the video post-production or on social media or whatever, it's unnatural and it doesn't look like everywhere else we put our eyes on in regards to watching videos or movies and things like that. And so you want to keep that rule to a T. It's actually freeing. So maybe you don't know much about video, but that rule actually allows you to not have to think of it ever again, as long as your shutter speed is just double your frame rate. So if you're shooting 24 frames per second, you're going to be 1/50th of a second. 30 frames, you're going to be 1/60th of a second. 60 frames per second, you want to be 1/25th of a second if you're shooting DSLR or mirrorless camera. I know it would be 1/20th if it'd be perfect, but it's not. It's 1/25th. That's okay. Just double your frame rate for your shutter speed. Now, when going outside and you don't want to do that because we don't want to compromise that rule, you want this ND filter, this sunglass for your lens. And the coolest thing about it is that when you buy a variable ND filter, which is one that allows you to change the intensity of it, so it can be really dark or a little bit lighter based off of where you're at, is you don't have to buy all 8 neutral densities or even up to 16. You just buy one that has the ability to go really dark and go really light. And I'll put links in the description to lead you in the right direction. However, although this is a necessity when shooting video outdoors to achieve that blurry background and maintain your settings, the issue is if as someone behind the camera or someone who vlogs, you don't always have the time or patience to find your ND filter, whether it's in your pocket, in your bag, screw it on, and I'm trying to make this look all difficult. It's really not that difficult. Screw it on, shoot, and then when you go back inside or you go to inside your car, you want to screw it off. So like it's very time consuming to do that. So, I told you I was talking about 2 things in this video. The first one is the ND filter. And the second thing is probably one of my favorite things I learned about this year, and that is the Alter RFS. And it actually works hand in hand with your ND filter. And so what is the Alter RFS? The RFS stands for the Rapid Filter System, and all it is, to make it plain and simple, it's just a hinge mechanism that you can screw onto your lens, then screw your ND or variable ND filter on, and now it never has to actually leave your lens. And I think this is huge. And I think all the scenarios, and I'll show some of the scenarios right now. You can see it like right now I'm shooting video of a camera, and you know, I have my ND filter on because I want to control the lighting that's coming into the camera, and then I'm hopping into photos. So I'm removing it and then taking photos, and the photos I need for social, and then I'm closing it back up. Also, if you vlog, when you vlog, you know, you want to be able to have that blurry background. If you want to stand out as a vlogger, I tell you what, if you try your best to increase the quality of your vlogs, more people will kind of stay on. And I think that's just something I've learned, is that I think quality buys attention sometimes. You know, if you're jumping on stories, or if you're watching YouTube videos and various vloggers, and your vlogs kind of like have a better production quality, sometimes it can have the ability to stand out more than others, just because people like to, you know, it's pleasing to the eye. And the reason I love this for vlogging is cool because, you know, when I'm outside, if I don't have this, you know, my f-stop's gonna be at like f22 because I don't want to mess with that shutter speed, right? And if my ISO is as low as possible at 100, now my f-stop has to be f18, and now everything's in focus. That's not fun. You want that blurry background. I bought this camera because I wanted that blurry background, right? So what's cool about this Alter RFS system is I never have to like find my filter or my ND filter. I can just simply put it on. It has a magnet mechanism right here too. It just allows to close, and it's just an amazing thing. If you're watching this video, at the time of shooting this video, they actually have a Kickstarter, and they just passed their goal, which is dope, but I'll put that in the description below. And if not, you could still either pre-order, or maybe they're shipping at the time of watching this video. And this is just something I think you need for whatever lens you're shooting video with. If you're using DSLR mirrorless cameras, I can even relate to even just shooting wedding video. You know, it's like, it's so stressful to, you know, because you're so run and gun, you're going inside and outside. You're inside, you're shooting details of the dress and the people getting ready, and then it's like, oh, the party's taking pictures outside, and you have to run outside, find the lens. And I actually used another system. It was by Manfrotto. It's a magnet system, so you just screw the magnet onto the filter and the magnet onto the lens, and then it hinges on, which was cool. But the issue was the filter is away, and I don't want, you know, putting it in your pocket. That's super sketch, and then you get dust on it. And then you got dust in your video and you don't want to remove it. So the Alter RFS is just an awesome thing that I really, I'm super grateful for. They actually sent it to me, and my model actually says patent pending, but definitely worth checking out. I think those are the two things you need to really up your video game, whether you're doing vlogs or run and gun video. It's an ND filter and the Alter RFS. Check those things out. I'll put links in the description below, and I just want to thank you again for watching the video. Question for you is, do you use ND filters for your videos? Let me know in the comment section below. And if you do, and if you own some, make sure to check out the Alter RFS. I'll put links to it in the description below. And if you haven't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video.